Fast forward, you come out channel so high gauge politics avenue podcast or a training because make headlines. Now, Jimmy need to be exumo. Need to be young Brasimo. Young Queen Simu. Yeah, Queen Simu. Dormaahene menoka say and wakasa right from say you swear from appeal court. Now, what say Akuffo bi ekeka say a year court of appeal. Dormaahene Mahama ashada and washada compile Akuffo no. Papa yi etimi appeal abontin abai abeka nsimbi afahwa. Eno ehube hia say ese ohun de ko ene de ba.
Justice Daniel Mensah, who doubles as the Dormaahene, has rejected claims that President is packing the courts. Speaking shortly after his swearing-in, Osajefo Osiadeyajiman Budu also refuted claims that he has been rewarded for his tough stance on the previous government.
For the first 13 years in my life, I moved 2 places as a High Court judge. For 15 years, I've been at one place. So to say somebody is packing the court, in fact, presently, until today, I was the High Court judge representing I was representing the High Court on the Judiciary Council. So if you look at the order, I was the second. To say somebody is packing, to me, I think we've been there even for too long. It's not a matter of, packing the court, but I believe that each one of them, about 21 of us, have his own competencies, has his own, the strength that they come up with. So I wouldn't say, if you look at the number of cases and the backlog that we are all, saying that cases delay, ostensibly there's a need for us to ensure that judges come on board at all the levels, Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, the High Court, so that we can, hold on to ensure that the cases are, expedited with. So, in a nutshell, I wouldn't say that the courts have been passed. Once you have the necessary competence, once you've been there for some time, and you have been elevated.
To suggest that you have close relations with the head of state, and also, you've had this appointment. Many say it is to say thank you to you. What's your response to that?
No, as for the appointment, normally the president appoint on the advice of the Judiciary Council. I believe that if I was not competent, if I've not been there for long, if I don't have the competencies, I was telling you that if I'm not mistaken, out of 142 judges of the High Court, if I'm representing them as the senior most on the bench, it tells you probably I've even been overlooked, not me alone, and some of the others. So if he has come to see that we have the enough competence, we have the expertise, and he has appointed us, I don't think people should look at. I know him.
Let's move away from that. The Ghana Police Service is investigating a case involving a Kia truck with registration number ER76023 that was intercepted on the Sekasua Road for carrying 36 bags of substances suspected to be narcotics. Preliminary investigations indicates that on the 30th of September, some officers from the Eastern Regional Police Headquarters, Akuffo, arrested the driver of the truck, which was carrying the goods suspected to be narcotics. A search in the truck revealed that the vehicle, which was halfway filled with sawdust, also had 36 sacks of dried substances suspected to be narcotics. After conveying the vehicle and its content to Sekasua Police Station, the suspect driver and his mate managed to escape, abandoning their truck. Efforts have since been intensified to get the 2 suspects rearrested. The impounded truck, as well as the 36 sacks of substances suspected to be weed, have been retained at the Eastern Regional Command. They are therefore urging the public to disregard false media reports claiming that the 36 sacks have turned into sawn dust. The majority side of the Communications Committee of Parliament has asked Ghanaians to disregard the call by the minority to dismiss the Minister of Communication over the DSTV brouhaha. At a media briefing in Accra, Chair of the committee, Adam Suleimana, said the minister's action is in the interest of the Ghanaian people.
As members of the Majority Caucus of the Communications Committee.
We and some who team course watching and so mamma so Jimre Elha, that's an so bad in the Adumbi Adumia, Essential, the Asumo Consum Kusukra.
Go through some punishment, but that resistance makes you feel good. Do you get me? So nobody has asked the question who took that video and who sent it viral.
But the whole idea is that somebody in essence, she's a child. And so even if there was a supposed consent, that is still wrong.
I am saying that it is wrong, but I'm saying who took that video. So we need to check our girls. They want to get material things. Mm-hmm. Even when they haven't gotten to that stage. Do you get me? They watch social media videos and they see luxury out there. This social media is not helping us. So they see all these, some people will just flaunt their houses, some are AI generated, and when they see them, they become greedy. But we need to also, before a child goes to school, we need to also educate them. I want to say that this practice has not been there today. Teachers, male teachers, trying to sleep with female students. It is not today. Not to also talk about their own mates who rape them. And they don't talk about it. Beatrice, you see, everybody is talking about teenage pregnancy. Me, that is not my worry. Teenage pregnancy, you give birth to a human being. If you are serious, you go back to school. But if you contract HIV, you are doomed.
Or syphilis.
There is this, a doctor friend of mine said a young girl came to her and the girl looked wasted. Very beautiful girl. All the symptoms pointed to HIV, but she was praying in her heart that it is not it, but maybe something else. She did the test and that girl had HIV. She said she just could not, when she saw the results, she could not stand it. And you know the number of girls getting HIV these days? They are vulnerable. Nobody is watching their way. I also blame the headmasters. When they get the position as headmasters, they just sit and don't look. You see, when you have a lecturer's teacher, you should be able to see somewhat that this is a lecturer's one. So you need to deal with it. So if you're a headmaster of a school and you are not doing monitoring, finding out what is going on, house mistresses, house masters, instead of always being, the word is not coming, but being like people who are always on the children, beating them, shouting on them, you need to speak to them, put them in a corner, find out what is happening. If a child is in school and the child is not doing well, the child is not happy, as a house mistress or house master, you should know. You see, we are even talking about the ladies. What about the men? With all this homosexuality going on, what is happening to our boys? What is happening to our boys? We are seeing the girls, but what about our boys? Who cannot even come out and tell anybody? Maybe a teacher is touching a boy. A teacher is doing something. A teacher was touching a friend's son. Do you get it? And this boy was so depressed. So what is going on in that school, the boarding houses, what is going on, Beatrice? We need to really look at it. And as Auntie said, we the parents, we have left the raising up of our children to the teachers. We don't have time. Always going out hustling. But you need to have time. Me, I always have time for my children. My children are old. But even though I was busy, I'll make sure that you go to Sunday school. I make sure that we read the Bible. I'll make sure that we pray. I make sure that I put certain things in you for you to understand that there are things you cannot do. Do you get me? We have to make time, my dear, for our children.
And I want to read to you sexual harassment and misconduct policy as put out by the University of Ghana. Of course, what we are talking about is pre-tertiary.
Yes.
But the way the University of Ghana put it out, it seems like it covers whatever we are discussing, and it talks about definition of sexual harassment and other forms of sexual misconduct. And it says that this is defined as in sexual harassment as an unwelcome conduct of a sexual nature, including unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal, non-verbal, written, electronic, graphic, or physical conduct or behavior of a sexual nature when submission or a rejecting of such conduct is made either explicitly or implicitly a term or condition of an individual's employment, academic standing, or participation in an educational program or activity. But I want to read this to you because of a point you made earlier, that sexual relationships that occur in the student-teacher context or in the context of employment, supervision, or evaluation present special problem. These types of sexual relationships are especially vulnerable to exploitation due to the difference in power and the respect that are often present between a teacher and a student, a supervisor and a subordinate, or a senior and junior colleague. As a result of this power differential, a student's voluntary participation in a sexual relationship with an individual in a position of power does not on its own demonstrate that the conduct was welcome. And you made a point about the young girl laughing.
Yeah, why are you laughing?
Yes, but again, this explains it clearly that because of the positioning of the individuals involved, irrespective, the person with the higher authority should rather be considered as somebody who probably didn't take the responsibility as he should be. And that's why I want to come to you on that.
Why should you, little girl, laugh when an older man puts his hand on your breast?
So I'm saying, assuming that these children are coming from homes where people are not guiding them as to what to do, you expect that people in such authority will be tougher and ensure the right things are done.
I am saying that you, that young girl, there are things I don't want to say, but we are dealing with a certain yes. I even go beyond schools to older men who chase younger women. A friend of mine took a daughter to a Legon. When she got to the hall, the man said, "Take your child back home." The porter. Yes. The porter told my friend that take your child back home.
Why?
Yes. Because the porter said that the things that happen here, it is not good for the eyes. He actually told my friend things that cannot be said here. How these young girls are taken out by older men.
Yeah. I live in society.
Yes, buying cars for them. They don't learn. I mean,
it's true.
This is from a porter, so I don't have, there's no evidence to the fact. So I can't say it publicly.
Sex for grades.
Yes. I mean, it is going on. So I believe that as you see, when God created Adam, he said something that sometimes we take it for granted. He looked at him and said, "This one cannot be alone." So it means we, the stronger species, always we should make sure that our daughters are protected. I've said it in different words. I cannot come out and say, but this one I'm talking about reality. Reality that happens on the ground. Do you get me? There are girls. You see, the home plays a lot. I mean, a bigger role. Because there are girls even who are very poor. But if you make the attempt to even go close, they will reject you outright. There are girls who are from rich homes. Look, I have a friend there who went to a party. This friend has bought a car for the daughter. This friend is rich. Then he went to a friend's party and his daughter came there as an escort. His own daughter, who is in Legon, as what Auntie said.
Bring the bus.
Yes, in the bus came as an escort. The girl lacks nothing.
Peer pressure.
I think we need to take our time and have a holistic view of what it is very dangerous, because some of these girls even go out in the night to prostitute while their parents are at home. What is going on is very, very dangerous. And the aspect of HIV, the number of young girls who are getting HIV and the number of these girls who are spreading the disease because they are angry that somebody has somebody has given them a disease. Because right now there's no education on the usage of condoms.
They've stopped.
They have stopped because the Global Fund is talking about stigma, and there's no education on being infected, and people are being infected. Go to the AIDS Commission. The kind of data they have is horrendous, and everybody is looking away. How do you even know that this teacher has something like that? And he's also angry. I mean, we have to look into this matter very well. How do we know? How do we know that it is not that teacher alone in the school doing that?
Security men.
Security men.
School security.
School security. Sleeping with girls who allow them to leave the school, go out at night. Because they want to go out and do their own thing, they will sleep with the security. The security will allow them to go as payment.
Yeah.
How do you, I mean, it is so terrible that we need to really put the thing right there on the table and, I mean, dissect it. And we should not leave the girls out. We should not leave the boys out. Yes, an older man should have a responsibility, but we have the bigger responsibility, because if a man touches you and you say no, it is no. The man cannot do anything. Anybody who tells me that he can, what can he do? He will fail you in your grades. Your life will be uncomfortable, but you will keep your dignity. Do you get me? Me as a young girl, I faced this thing so much. That is why I stopped journalism. Because everywhere I went, I would get a complimentary card. Then I saw the stress was too much. I said, okay, let me go and do PR. Do you get me? So you yourself should also have strategies to protect yourself. When I was a little girl, I used to always be in shorts and playing with boys. Do you get me? Always with the boys fighting.
Tomboy.
Yes. My grandmother called me and said, Nanaya, Achempem, you are a woman. Your friends are not boys. A woman has female friends. It stayed with me. Gradually, I moved away from that life. Do you get me? So family has, it is very encompassing. Family has a responsibility. Society has a responsibility. Government has a responsibility. Do you get me? Schools have a responsibility. Universities, even primary, the other one, the GHS. It is going on.
Yeah.
The primary one, there are people, teachers who touch the genitals of young boys. I'm telling you.
Perverts. We have them.
We have perverts touching young boys. Do you get me? Maybe this video has opened up the conversation. But we have in primary school teachers touching young boys. And when they come home, they are so down they can't even talk about it. The teachers keep touching these young boys. Do you get me?
I will come back to you, Nanaya Jantra. Let me get the thought of Sahadatu Ali Khalid. And I did mention that you're with the Gender Equality and Social Inclusion Unit of the Africa Education Watch. We've heard both Madam Nanaya Jantra and Madam Ayana talk about why the family plays such a crucial role. But from where you sit with perhaps the kind of data you have, where do you see the problem coming from?
Okay, all right. Can you hear me, Beatrice?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so before I start, I would like us to come back to the main issue. What the main issue is. This issue is a case of sexual exploitation, which means that this is someone who is in a position of authority. Okay, taking advantage of someone beneath them, a subordinate, someone that is beneath them. Okay, I see this conversation going around like this. We are talking more of what the girls should do rather than what the adults, someone who is in the position of authority, someone who should know better, someone who has more experience in life than the child. And that, I think this is a societal thing. Okay, when issues like this happen, we tend to blame the one that has been exploited, because this is a clear case of sexual exploitation. You can't tell me that even if the girl is 16 years, you can't tell me that she gave consent. Even if she did, this is uninformed. She doesn't know better than the assistant headmaster. Even if she was the one that came onto him, he, as an adult, as someone is in authority, she being under her care, he is like now a father to her. Would you tell me that if you're a father and then your daughter comes onto you, you say that because she took that step, so you're going to sleep with her? No. No, and this is why this kind of things, they go on and then the victims are not able to talk about it. Okay? This one has been recorded. How about the ones that go on in secret that we don't know about? Are we saying that if a girl comes from a home where there are no structures to make sure she's in line, it's okay for her to be exploited? How about kids that don't have parents? Are we saying that they should be exploited? I hear comments about the way girls carry themselves these days. They are shaking their bum, the way they dress. Please, we have older people exploiting children, even babies. Do babies shake their bum? No. I think